Colonial Associate Head Coach Charlie Buscaglia. First of all, Coach Charlie, congratulations on a very well-played victory on the road in the NEC.
It was a great win for us. We knew it was going to be a little bit different. 1:30. We're not used to that on a Saturday at this time of the year. We've been going at 4 o'clock every Saturday, so it was a little different. We didn't have a shoot around, and we only had 30 minutes to warm up, so we were a little concerned about being out of our routine. But Coach Sale did a great job. He brought him in last night to shoot, and we kept the focus up, and you could see we came out with that energy, and we didn't let down.
Both teams a little sloppy to begin the basketball game. You fell behind by 5 on a couple of occasions, but you chipped your way back, took the lead, and never turned back, taking the lead up to as many as 14 and winning by 11. And again, it was a full team effort. Everybody that touched the floor made a contribution, whether it was a good pass, a big three coming from Roman to Sex in the first half. Everybody that came out there really made a substantial contribution.
Oh, there's no question. There's no question. Everybody just thought that they had to do their part. And, it's nice when you get some good outside shooting early on. I think we shot really well from the three-point line, especially in the first half. And, that really jumpstarts you. When you're able to make that long shot, we're always going to be able to go into Artemis or to Mary inside, and they're going to get a good look. But when we get those good looks from the perimeter and knock them down, that really put pressure on Quinnipiac to say, hey, they're hitting from the outside. Now all this strategy of sinking down and getting Spanu and getting Droge in the paint, that all goes out the window now because we're hitting shots.
Seems like teams have really focused on trying to stifle Mary DeRozier, and she has not played her best basketball over the past handful of games. However, her country-mate Josette Campbell has certainly picked up the slack, including 23 points and 9 rebounds today. She again had a couple of block shots as well.
She was great. She was great. I mean, it wasn't just that she hit shots. It was just how quick she got them off and how much we needed it early in the game. Some people scored 23 quiet ones. They weren't quiet. I mean, it was always when we needed a bucket, she came up and knocked that 3 down, and she gave us that outside presence that April gives us sometimes. And it was both sides of the ball for her too. I can't take away from her defense. Her defense was so great. She played so inspired. A lot of tips. Caused a lot of turnovers. She had a great game. It's probably her best game since she's been here.
Brianna Katai, 9 points, 5 rebounds. She had 3 assists and 2 steals. She was credited with 6 turnovers, but it didn't seem like she actually was guilty of that many. She really was a great floor general for you today.
Oh, and again, she's so low to the ground. So a lot of times when people are putting their hands on them and they're giving them a hand check, she's so strong it doesn't look like it bothers her as much. And people get away with putting a lot of contact on her when she dribbles inside. So some of those turnovers are a product of that. But again, we turned the ball over a little bit here and there, but she had the ball in her hands. Let's remember, she controlled the ball the whole game. I mean, the whole game we had to get the ball in her hands. We did not do much of bring it up yourself and, just play out of it and spread the ball. Coach did a good job. He controlled the tempo. The tempo was ours the whole game. We never gave up that tempo. We never got ugly when it came to the tempo. And then Brianna had the ball in her hands the whole game, and she did a good job with it.
How about the second half from April Williams? 8 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist. She played 31 minutes in the second half. She was just lights out.
Yeah, she was great, and, she got some tips down there on that end. And that's what I worry about with her. She's going to get that 3 for you. She's going to give you that offensive presence from outside. But down there, that big tip on that, when I think we were up 10 or 9, and we were trying to make sure we extended and not let them back in. A big tip there, and it went to Campbell, and we got the ball back, and we scored. Those kind of things are the things that I really praise her about. So April had a good game today because she was definitely down there for us on defense.
Again, the final 72-62. Robert Morris improving to 17 and 11 overall and 11 and 6 in the Northeast Conference. Again, it's Artemis Spanu with her 17th double-double. She had 6 assists, 3 steals, so she was even in steals and turnovers, 39 big minutes today. Artemis Spanu has just matured since mid-January on and become probably the most solid player in the league.
Well, it was funny because, before the game, I really try to stay loose and I try to keep our players loose, focused but loose. And, talking to somebody before the game, we were talking about who's a player of the year in this league. And I said, I've never worried about, we've had many players of the year and we've had many first team all conference and rookie of the years. And, I never worry about that, but it was just funny we were having that conversation because, 24 and 14 again. I'm obviously biased towards my own players. Artemis to me is amazing. She does everything across the board for you, blocks, steals, assists, shoots the 3, goes inside, posts up. I think today just really highlighted what she does well. She did a great job. At the end of the game, we were able to go to her and get those buckets inside. She stepped out, reversed the ball, handled the ball. How many rebounds did she tip to herself down there at that end when we needed the board? It's just like she just has such an ability to tip the ball. She had 14 defensive rebounds today. 14. That means that 14 times she was the reason that we controlled the rebound. So I just got to say, she's been great for us. We got one game left in the regular season. I want to keep her hungry and stuff, but I want to give her a hug after a day like today because she is doing so well as a sophomore, and in my heart, she's the best player in this league.
Well, before we talk about that next game against Sacred Heart, let's talk about Artemis Banu. My advice to you, tell her not to worry about being Conference Player of the Year. Worry about being Tournament MVP, because the 2 times we won the league championship, we didn't have the NEC Player of the Year, but we did have the Tournament MVP.
That's true, and that was one of the conversations I had beforehand too. I said it was kind of funny because when we didn't win the MVP of the regular season, we both had the MVP of the tournament, and that MVP is always worth more because they always give it to the team that wins it. So, of course, we don't worry about those accolades. To me, like I said, Artemis is amazing, and whoever is the Player of the Year, that's great. But at the end of the day, you want to be the one that gets the championship ring. And if she scores 5 points and we get a ring, and she does other things to help us because they're doubling her or whatever, that's going to be just as much as she scores 25. I can't say more how much important it is as a team to win the game. In sports, we've kind of really drifted off from the team mentality. Everything's about my individual stats and who's making more money in the pro level. You watch teams play, you could tell what team really cares about winning the game first and personal stats second. And I want to be that team, and that's all we've been preaching. So hopefully, we go into this game on Monday and we carry this momentum in a team mentality and say, hey, everybody contributed today, and we're really proud of every one of these players.
Well, you do have a tough test against the Sacred Heart Pioneers, who are now the #1 team in the NEC, with your team knocking off Quinnipiac. And that was a team that you led by 18 in the second half at the Sewell Center back in mid-January. But the Pioneers were able to claw back and ultimately win the game by 7.
Yeah, we weren't smart in the second half in that game. We had built that lead in like 5 minutes into the second half, and everything looked like it was going our way. And then we just did not do a good job on the defensive end of knowing what they wanted to do and being smart and taking away what they wanted to do. And that's one thing we got to do better on Monday. We have got to be smarter, especially in the second half, with what they like to do and who they like to go to. Make somebody else beat you, and that's the problem we had last game. So, people don't realize 18-point leads are not insurmountable. They lose all the time. Last night I was watching Marquette in West Virginia, 16-point lead late in the second half, went down to nothing, and the other team took the lead. So, you just got to keep playing the game. You got to keep getting stops, and that's what I thought we needed to do today, and that's what we'll need to do on Monday. At the end of the game, if you have a lead or you're losing, you've got to get stops. Teams that don't defend down the stretch don't win. So, this Monday we're going to have to show something on defense and take away what they want to do.
Coach Charlie, thanks a lot for your time. Congratulations on the 10-point win and moving to 17-11 overall and 11-6 in the NEC.
Thanks for everybody who listened in. Obviously the game was on ESPN3 today. Thanks for watching, and thanks for your support. One regular season game. Hopefully we'll have the opportunity to play at home in the first round, and please, if you're in the area, come out, support us. We could always use all that extra cheering.
Again, Robert Morris victorious 72-62 over the Quinnipiac Bobcats. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout on the radio side, and we'll be back with more of the post-game show brought to you by the Ground Round right here on AM 1550 WLFP and RMUcolonials.com.